actual functions that have to be carried out should not be carried out within the public service, but outside of it. So we're setting up the Roads Authority, Roads and Drainage Authority. We're setting up a new licensing authority, well, a transport authority outside of the public service and so on. What we propose to do at the local level is to convert the labor as it now exists into small companies, similarly to what we do with CPEP. We convert everybody into small companies, and we give those companies contracts at the local level to ensure that the local government responsibilities are properly discharged. You understand what I mean? So you have a little company. You want to do a landscaping project. That company is given a contract to do it. Okay? If the company works well, well, of course, we will have a nurturing approach to it. And we will have people assisting those companies. We'll have people assisting those companies to be able to properly discharge their functions. So we propose to turn all the labor at that level into companies to discharge those functions within the corporations themselves, the clerical positions and administrative positions and so on. Those persons will be permanent employees of the corporation outside of the public service. Permanent employees of the corporation, my dear friends, except department heads. All department heads will be on contract in the first instance. We're still working out the fine points of it, but one possibility is that at the end of your first 3-year contract, if you are considered to have worked well in that position, then they could make you permanent, retroactively. That's one way of doing it, okay? If, on the other hand, you're not working well, your contract is just not renewed. So people have to work to live. You have to work. And you have to work together with the local government bodies. That's one way of doing it. But, my dear friends, the employment of those persons, the chief executive officer and all the department heads, will not be done by the council itself. It will be done by the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Local Government. You know why? Because you want to remove political involvement in the employment practices. Each local government body will have a human resource department. Each local government body will have a human resource department. And the human resource department will operate in the same way it operates in any company. In T&Tech, in Petrotrain, in the Water and Sewage Authority, it operates in the same way. They keep a record of how you are performing and so on. If you have to be disciplined, they discipline you. If you have to be commended, they commend you. If they have to be dismissed, they dismiss you. That's the function of a HR department. And we believe that by this method, we will get much higher levels of productivity at the local level. We'll deal with a big problem right now. The CEOs and the councils are at war in a number of councils, you know, not just PNM councils, UNC councils too. We want to put that to an end. And it is the system that allows for that. So we want to put a system in place that now takes that effectively into account. And finally, my dear friends, I want to deal with this whole question of boundaries. Remember, right now, we have 14 local government bodies. Okay? We have decided that the most efficient arrangement is one in which there are 12 local government bodies. 12. We are expanding the size of Arima, expanding the size of Port of Spain, expanding the size of San Fernando, expanding the size of Shogunas. And in the case of Point Fortin, we are merging Point Fortin and La Brea into one new municipality, which will be a borough. In the case of the others, we already have the city of Port of Spain, we already have the city of San Fernando, and to those two, we will now add the city of Arima, the third city in Trinidad and Tobago, and the brand new city of Shogunas, my dear friends, in central Trinidad. So there will now be 4 cities, and 8 other municipalities, one of which is a borough. So it will be 4 cities, 1 borough, and 7 other municipalities. That is how it will now be. My dear friends, we in determining in the white paper, we have outlined boundaries that are indicative. You must remember this, that as it now stands, out of 14 local government bodies, 9 are controlled by the PNM. 1, my dear friends, is half and half. 1 is half and half. So it is 9 and a half. As you put new boundaries in place, it must not be used for gerrymandering. That is to say, the new boundary arrangements must not be used to give the government an advantage or a disadvantage. And the equivalent arrangement with 12 will be that the government should be in control on the basis of the results of the last elections in 8 of those 12 to be consistent with what exists at this time. It is not our intention to use that arrangement for any gerrymandering. We will determine the policy, and it will be the Elections and Boundaries Commission that will determine the actual boundaries of these new municipalities. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is your new system of local governance. What do you think? All in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it, my dear friends. And the PNM proposes this new system of local government for the benefit of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I have to tell you that it has been a great pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, discussing this system of local governance in the University of Woodford Square, in the College of Harris Promenade, and now in our 3rd lecture series here in the College of the Arima Promenade. We have brought our discussion on local government to an end. I am sure that you now understand the system better, and that when people come talking foolishness to you about the PNM this and the PNM that, tell them, I now understand what the system is about. I have attended or listened to the lectures. I am a graduate of the University of Woodford Square. I am a graduate of the College of Harris Promenade. I am a graduate, my dear friends, of the College of Arima Promenade in Arima. My dear friends, no other political party in the country has put any proposal as forward-thinking as this. And the PNM is quite happy about it. The PNM believes that before the elections are actually held, we should put much of the system in place. We anticipate that the Joint Select Committee will report by about October of this year. And by early next year, because we already started to put elements of it in place, by early next year, we will be in a position to call the local government elections well ahead of the July the 14th deadline. We don't wish, the PNM does not wish, my dear friends, to hold on to power without the authority of the people. We don't wish to do that. But you see, the previous systems have not worked well. And therefore, we thought it important to put in place a system that works well before we come to you. And this time when we come to you, we will say to you, this is the system. This is the system, my dear friends. These are the benefits that we have outlined today. And we will ask for your support on that basis. And we will ask you to be a part of the approach that puts this exciting new system of local governments in place. There will be opportunities for politicians to develop, because we now will have 12 executive councils, each one with 7 persons. That is 84 new people, all of them full-time employees of the state, contributing to the development of the profession of politics in our country, where at the local level, people are now able to cut their teeth properly, and those who do well are in a position to graduate and move on to the national level, where, again, we are contemplating a new system of national government. When we meet in our next meeting, it will be at the college. We will open a new college in Central Trinidad, the College of Center Point Mall. That's our new college. And we will be discussing next week when we meet, constitutional reform, my dear friends. And you will realize that all the nonsense that people have been talking really has no place in a country like Trinidad and Tobago, where we are in search of truth. My dear friends, has it benefited you to be a part of our new educational drive? Are you